I give it a shot every once in a while.
Being a rapper?
We back.
Hey, welcome back.
I'm Greg Odio.
Being alive with Greg and Trace.
No, I'm Greg Odio. Tell me people your name. They don't know
They
you.
know my name.
They don't know you.
Hey guys, I am Trace and Sita Jaspreet.
And I am Greg Odio.
He's not Greg Odio.
I'm Greg Odio. Why wouldn't I?
You could be whatever you want.
Exactly. Don't bang on me.
I'm not banging on you. How you feeling today?
I feel good.
You feel different today?
I feel good today.
I think you're different.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we change every day.
But I feel like you're a different guy today.
Like
what happened?
Like what? Explain to me. What do you mean by a different guy?
You're a different guy.
Like how?
Like earlier you were like so aggressive. Right before I was getting ready to get in the shower, I don't know what happened. You said something. It was so aggressive. I was like, who's this guy? And then when the towel was missing, I was like, where's the towel? And you kind of panicked.
Because I'm taking over my relationship.
Is that what's happening?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. But then we were driving, and I was like, what do you want to eat? And then you...
That's a trick question, dudes. Don't ever
No.
answer. No, listen.
No,
Don't
it's
ever
not-
answer the
no.
question
Because
is
you was like, we
where
could
you
go
want
home
to eat.
then.
Where you want
I've never heard you say that
Where you
before.
want to eat? And they'll be like, you would tell them where you want to eat. They'll be like, no, I don't want that.
You didn't tell me where you want to eat. That's the problem.
I did. I said P.F. Chang's.
No.
And you said,
we
I ain't
could-
standing in no line. I don't never stand in no line.
I didn't say that this time.
I go home.
You said I'll go home.
I go home.
See, that's
How she do her hair to you. I go home.
I did not say I'll go home
She
this
did say
time.
it. I said that though.
You said.
That lighting's good right there. Leave it there. No change it.
Well,
I like that.
Like how you look?
Yeah, I like
What
how I
about
look.
me?
You look good.
You always say
Yeah,
that.
you do. I do always say that, but you do look good.
See, Lucy knows he always said that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back up.
So-
You ain't gonna sit all forward in the camera.
Stop. Quit trying to bully me tonight. She been trying to bully me, y'all.
Oh my
But,
gosh!
So
Let me tell you about how we were trying to go to dinner, and he was like, "If we can go where I want, we could just go home." Who's the bully?
I wasn't bullying. I was just saying that I love you. And you're my everything.
That don't give you
You're
don't
my
get
one and
that
only.
don't give you a pass for
It does. Quit changing the light.
No, I like,
No.
This light.
I don't like that light.
but I look good in that light.
Well, we're gonna have to switch. Well, halfway through, you're gonna change the light. So during this during this episode, you will see
I'm
different
just doing
lighting.
like behind the scenes.
Sometimes I will look good.
This is what we do before we
sometimes,
turn the camera on.
and sometimes I will. You might not be able to see.
You look good right here.
So
So lean
that's
forward.
that's your eyes.
My perception.
Yes, your perception don't matter. I don't think that I like this light.
My perception don't matter.
No,
Oh,
not for my life. It don't.
that's true. It don't. Yeah, that's true. My
We-
perception don't matter.
So
My feelings.
check this out.
though.
So we made a video a couple weeks ago, and apparently the universe didn't want us to put this video out.
Universe, divine,
We
creator,
had
whatever
so
you want
much
to call
trouble
it.
with this video. First off, we lost the beginning and
And
the
the
ending
end.
of the video.
And then we lost the whole
Then all of
video.
a sudden, the cloud decided they was keeping the motherfucker.
Ooh.
They was keeping it.
We don't
Sorry.
even talk like that.
I'm sorry, we don't.
He just
We
feel
don't
a
talk
little
like that.
extra today. I told you he was a different man. You see, y'all? Y'all get to see it firsthand. It's a different man today.
But we made a video, and the video was about the thieves that
Five
the
thieves.
5 thieves that steal our
Happiness.
happiness
And joy.
and joy. What was the first one? Control.
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 The need
Thinking
for
that
control.
you have to control everything in your life. When you don't have to control everything in your life.
Except for the music in the background because you can't think straight. But you don't have to control everything. Lord help us.
What you got in mind?
He's gonna make me edit the heck out of this
Okay.
video, huh?
All right, let's go. But
That'll work for me.
as control, thinking that you have to control everything in your life when you don't have to control everything. A lot of things are out of your control, and when you
Everything
can't,
is out of your control.
and when you can't, what do we say? The only things in control is your choices.
It's
Or-
your attachment.
Yeah.
It's attachment. Control, attachment, control, attachment, 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 attachment.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's like the worst thing ever, I think. What do you think?
Trying to control stuff.
No, like being attached to things.
Oh yeah. Because you got to remember, if your happiness is based off of anything that's outside of you, once that's taken, then your happiness is taken. So you can't allow that to happen.
What do you think about like controlling relationships?
Ah man, they don't last. I know that. They may last a while, but they don't last because
Like,
eventually.
what kind of control, different types of control, because there's lots of different
Oh yeah,
types
the
of
control,
in
like let's say
relationships.
for instance, a man wants you to stay at home. Sometimes that might be control. Stay at home
is control
and
sometimes.
pay all the bills. Sometimes that can be a form of control. I guess kind of your friends, who your friends are.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a big
You know.
control thing in the relationship.
Some
too.
people try to even control you to be around your family. That's
Yeah.
weird. But some people do that. But you know, you got to realize that the things you can't control, you have to let them go, and you have to know that, you know, you just can only pay attention to what you can control.
Well, you know what
in
I think
life.
is the biggest control thing that people do in relationships?
What?
This is like the biggest. This like encompasses everything that you just said, but trying to control how the other person feels about you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's like the biggest thing that people do when they get in a relationship with someone. They worry about what the other person feels like, what the other person thinks, instead of like loving the person in the best way that they know how to love the person, and then giving up control whether or not they're gonna love them back.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, control too is actually a sign of it's an insecurity, definitely,
Oh yeah, for sure.
because you're trying to control the outcome. See, you got to realize that only thing you can control is the goal that you're going towards. You can't the outcome. If the outcome is what you're trying to control, then you already lost, because you can't control the outcome all the time. You have to be willing to accept whatever outcomes come from it. As long as you know that you put everything into it that you were supposed to put into it, whatever the outcome is, it's going to be okay. So
And not feeling like you have to own up or live up to somebody else's expectations.
exactly.
I mean, what you said at the end of that was, as long as you know that you put 100% of what you know you can put into it, and if the rest of that is not good enough, then let it go.
Exactly
That's
right.
important. What's the second one of the 5 things you remember?
Conceit, I think it was.
Conceit.
Conceit. That's
Oh.
that old ego.
Yeah.
Oh, the ego.
You are a different guy today. The ego.
Yes, the ego, definitely.
Tell me about your ego.
My ego,
Yeah.
man, the ego is. See, people mistake. They think that you have to have an ego. That's part of everyone. We all have the ego, but we have to know how to put our ego into the place where it belongs, because your ego is actually a good thing if you use it in the right way.
Yeah.
Your ego is it's who you are. It's that confidence in you. It's good confidence.
Yeah.
That's what ego is. You should use it as a good confidence. Before, I would use my ego. I mean, let's not be honest. I would use ego to get women, you know, and manipulate women with my ego. But now, you know, I see that I don't have to do that.
With your ego, or to feed your ego.
Or to feed my ego.
Yeah.
To feed my ego.
Yeah.
Yep, because the ego
I mean, a
needs
lot
to
of
be
men
fed.
do that, right? Where they're raised like that, so it's not like, not saying it's a good thing, but it's also like it's an innate thing that you're learned. Like you pick that up in school. Like if I can get this girl to do whatever because I'm a suave guy,
Yeah.
right? Then that boosts your ego and makes you feel better about yourself. But at the end of the day, it's not love, right? So anything that's not love is not righteous.
Yeah.
And so you're not gonna live happily ever after, and anything that's not righteous.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, like I say, your ego is something that we have to have. It's something that you'll never get away from. We just have to know
How to use it.
how to use it and to use it for our benefit.
Yeah, because I think this year I've decided I've always been very humble and very like, you know, just kind of underground things. And I was just like, you know what, I really should use my ego a little bit, because it's healthy to be able to say, okay, I feel good about these things. I want to be supported about these things. I want people to acknowledge that I'm doing those things. And I always come from a place where I was just like, I don't want to be like too big in that, because I feel like that's too big ego. But
Yeah.
you can use that a little bit. Like it's okay to want to be loved and supported. We're all in this shit together.
But you have to have your ego. I believe your ego should have confidence. There's nothing wrong with having confidence.
Well, the ego is confidence.
What? No, not always. It's confidence, but it's a confidence used in the right way. Because you can have confidence, but you can use your confidence in the wrong way. So,
That's true.
so we just definitely have to make sure that we just use our ego in the way that we're supposed to use it, and you know, it helps us and it aids us in our life and in the way we want to go in life. So,
Do you like my ego?
yeah, I think you do. I do like. I don't think. I'll be honest that probably before we met, if we would have met back in the days, our egos would have clashed. they definitely would have.
But do you like my ego?
Yes, I do.
Hey.
I think you have a very sweet ego, and I think that you know how to use your ego.
Thank you.
So that's important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was very nice of you to say. I like your ego too.
Consumption, number 3.
That's number 3.
Consumption.
Consumption of what? Like too much? Of anything?
Just thinking you need, that you have to have everything. Thinking that you want more than what you need. You know what I mean?
Physical things.
Physical things.
But you know what? Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, let's say consumption could be this. It's like we was talking about tonight. We're saying that there's nothing wrong with drinking alcohol, but sorry, I'm shaking the table, y'all. But there's nothing
So
wrong.
sweet. He's so sorry.
There's nothing wrong with drinking alcohol. It's something wrong with if you overconsume it and how you act once you consume it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So that's what we talk about consumption. You can consume things, but you have to have a balance in all the things that you consume.
Well, let's talk about that for like, as far as like physical things go, right? So consumption being one of the thieves of happiness is the point of that conversation, right? So consumption of anything, too much of anything, kills the body, kills the mind, kills the spirit. It also, you see a lot of people with a lot of money and they have everything they want, just like we were talking about earlier. My daughter was like, Mom, are we rich? And I was like, why are you asking that? And she said, because there's a little boy in my classroom and he always talks about how much money he has and his dad has. And even my teacher said that his dad does make a lot of money. She was like, so are we rich like them? And I was like, well, here's the thing. From where I came from and when I grew up, I have given my children right now in this very moment everything that I wanted as a little girl. And when I saw those things that I have now, I really very much thought that those people were rich. So yes. Also, the second part of that is, even if we're not rich, it's not okay to brag. It hurts other people.
Yes, it does.
So even if we do have everything that I never had when I was a child, it's not okay to brag about that because it hurts. Bragging, being proud of something and bragging about
There's
it,
a difference.
two different things.
Yeah.
Because when you have consumed so much that it elates into everything else, and that's all you are, then your ego is just disgustingly like filled. It's hurting other people, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
Right? So that, I think consumption comes to, it's okay for you to have all the things that you want to have on this planet. So it's not, you don't have to feel bad about wanting to have a big house or having a nice car or whatever it is. As long as it's not hurting someone else, take those things so that, because you want those things, because you want to enjoy those things and receive those things. But don't take those things so that you can make other people feel bad.
Because they don't have them.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I'm glad that she asked me that question, because whether or not we're rich has nothing to do with anything.
Rich has nothing to do. There's two different riches. There's rich in life,
Like,
and then there's
the little boy
there's
bragging
financially
about
rich.
how much money his daddy has doesn't mean that they're actually rich. He just is trying to make other people feel,
Yes.
for whatever reason, he was like, that's his adult issues.
Well, let's
he's gonna have
define
to learn
rich.
with.
Having money and being rich is two different things.
Right.
Because you can have a lot of money and still not be rich.
Say that again.
You can have money and still not be rich.
He said it.
Because I see a lot of people that that is like that. But it's
My hair keep doing it.
did it.
I think it's his headphones. I keep moving it. I feel like a weirdo because they're watching me move my hair.
Number 4,
Number 4 is what?
coveting, being jealous,
Well, let's talk about
thinking
that
that
one.
you have to be like the Joneses.
Well, let's talk about that one.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
also talk about, let's break that down a little bit. Thinking that you have to be like the Joneses. First of all, comes from low self-esteem, right? So you can't say that that's a thief of happiness until you understand where that thief of happiness comes from.
Exactly.
When you're jealous of someone, or when you want something.
When you're jealous because
My
you
grandma always taught me, whenever I saw something that someone had that I wanted, she always taught me to wish that they had something better so I could have what they had.
That's smart. I like that. Don't be jealous of them just because they have it, because you don't know what they work for to get that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So whenever I see somebody that has something that I want, I always go, I wish they had a better house, or I wish you had a better car so I could have
So I
that
could
one.
have it.
Yeah, I always wish something better
Can
on
you
them.
please move?
Can you please move? Can you please move out of the house? Matter of fact, I know you're.
I'm
I know
trying not
this,
to covet you, but I'm
Can you
trying
please
to be
have
jealous.
something better? No.
Could you please leave?
No, but it comes from insecurity. It comes from lack, and it comes from a hurtful place. And again, if it comes from a hurtful place, what do you think about that in relationships? How does that work?
Oh, it happens all the time. I think that, first of all, I think people can...
Do you think like me and you could be jealous of each other? Not me and you in particular.
If we allowed that energy into us, yes, we could do it. But
Yeah.
I don't think
Not
we're...
you
I
and
don't...
I'm just saying like
I don't
in a
think-
relationship like a husband and wife.
Oh
do you
yes,
think
definitely.
it's possible for
Definitely, you can be in competition for the kids' attention.
Yeah.
For who makes the most money, who, you know what I mean? How, just different things in a relationship. But definitely, those are two things that you can definitely be.
Have we ever been jealous of each other?
Nah,
I don't even think that's.
I don't think we've ever been jealous of you.
I'm
I
jealous
actually
of
don't
you.
like you, but
You don't like me?
nah, you just
He
playing
doesn't
around
like
right now.
me. Yes,
I love you.
He does.
I love you. I
Just
like
so you know.
I love you.
But you know what?
But,
I'm jealous of you.
all right,
Yeah.
why?
I'm jealous of the way that you can handle things so well sometimes.
Okay, I can see that.
I
I
mean-
understand. I can see how that can be something that you can look at and be. But that's a good jealousy. It's a good
Right,
cover.
but I am jealous of that sometimes. Sometimes I watch you handle things and you like, sometimes you can dismiss things so easily that I can't dismiss. And I'm just like, oh, gosh, I do wish that I had that sometimes, but I like to be able to work. I like the way that I work things through, but sometimes I'm just like, I really want to be able to just like let that go and not want to be so deep about it and find the path and, do all those things with it. I want to just be like you and be like, the old wise Al who's always
Well, I
like,
just
"Babe,
find-
it's not worth it." And I'm like, it's fucking worth it right now.
I know, huh? We're gonna go fight him. I'm like, no, babe, we're not gonna fight him. We're gonna talk to him.
I don't fight any. Don't
I
say
know that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She don't be fighting people.
No, but I do get very serious about things because I want to understand, like, and I'm starting to learn about myself that I didn't really like. I really am a nice person, and when someone's not a nice person, I get really mad.
Hold
about it.
on. You gotta change the light. It's been over half the video.
Oh, this guy. Fine, you can have your light back.
No, keep going. Nope,
No, you cut me off.
nope.
I'm done with this story.
No, you're not.
There you go.
No.
You guys sit back.
That ain't
Look,
it.
you all with your big head
That
in
ain't
front
it.
of it.
All right, go ahead. Finish your story.
Well, I forgot now.
You forgot your story?
Well, you cut me off. That was rude. I was jealous of you to do that.
I was just jealous of her, so I cut her off because
Yeah.
her story was good.
He was jealous of me, guys. No, but I think that like when I really am kind of a nice person, and
She is really a very, very sweet person, and people don't realize that she is very, very sweet.
I'm learning that about myself. And my feelings get hurt when people don't do nice things. Like hurt like a little girl hurt. Like, and that's why I think it takes me longer to come out of it than you, because like
But you know what? Let's say this. Maybe I'm jealous of you actually because you actually trust people a lot. You allow people to get close, and sometimes that backfires on you.
well, because I love
But
everybody.
Sometimes maybe because I'm not like that.
I know. I heard you in your tone the other day. You're like, she loves everybody, and I was like,
I love everybody too. I'm not saying I don't love everybody. I love everyone. It's just this woman is, she's very sensitive to people who've been through the struggle
yeah, because I've been through the struggle, and I feel like people, I've had a
or
lot.
who are going through the struggle.
Well, and I've had a lot of people give me a chance to be able to be where I'm at now and live the life that I live, and I'm very happy with my life. I actually feel like I'm very successful with everything that I've done. Like, seriously, I love my life, and I want that for everybody else. I want people to know that life doesn't have to suck, so I'm learning that about myself. Like, I am jealous of you because I guess I didn't realize how, like, very open and kind I am. And so now that I've learned that, I'm realizing that, I'm like, oh, so because I'm that way, I have to learn to protect that a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta protect it because
And you're very protective. Like, you're the same way as I am. I don't think we're very different when it comes to like how very kind-hearted we are, but you are you're a lot more protective of your heart than I am.
yes.
So I guess we're balancing each other out. Good deal. I like
So
it.
that's number 4. So you know what number 5 is?
What?
This is a big one.
What is it?
Because it's so it's kind of one because in a way you can you can see how you can get caught up in this. It's called contentment.
Oh yeah.
Because we always want to get in a comfortable place. But sometimes that comfortable place is not a good place.
Sometimes, all the time.
It's not a good place.
Energy has to move. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Exactly. And we can get content with anything. You can get content with what the wages that you have, and you can get content with in your relationship. And once
The house you live in.
the house you live in.
Oh my goodness. Not if you live my life though, because the universe has a way of lighting a fire under me.
You're content with this, girl.
Oh my gosh, there's no way. I can't. What I used to try to do it though. That's why I just have learned. The universe lights a fire under me. Every time it's time to move, I can feel it inside my whole being. It's time to move, it's time to move. And when I don't move, things get broken, things light on fire, I'll catch a flood. Like when the universe says move, I have to move.
You got natural disasters.
Yeah, I literally have had so
let
many.
me know, so we okay.
When I say it's time to go, sir,
Okay, I'm gonna go.
we gotta go. No, but it's serious though. That's why I don't. Everything moves around me. When I start to, I'm like, ooh, move that. Ooh, move that. I don't know why, because I've learned from experience that just don't. I was just telling actually Jessica today, because I was like, I guess it's just based on my life experience. I lost so much stuff. I've had so much loss in my life. It's taught me not to hold on to anything.
Yeah.
It's always taught me like, okay, it's time to move. It's time to move. That's what it is. Like if I lost something tomorrow, if it was, it means that something else is also coming better in the way though. That's why you shouldn't be content with just what you have going on.
Exactly right. What do you think? One thing you say you were content with that held you back in the day.
Oh gosh. Honestly, I'll tell you about one thing that I know that held me back. I was in a really bad relationship, and my kids were little, and I just had my daughter, and I had just literally got everything back in order. And actually, I just watched somebody go through this, so it's kind of funny that I'm telling this story. But I had just got my life. I felt like I just got my life back in order because I had lost everything being in that relationship and making decisions out of love, right, for someone else and not for myself.
Hold on. Did you say love?
Yeah. Love for someone else and not for myself. Yeah, that's what it was.
Can you love someone else if you don't love them?
I mean, the idea of it. Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm being honest.
No, I mean, that's a valid question. Because can you love someone if you don't love someone? You don't love yourself. Yeah. So the word love or the feeling or desperation, let's call it that, because that's what it is when you're chasing someone you don't love yourself.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to throw you off.
No, it's okay. It's valid. That was valid. But so I had got this job. I had my baby and my kids, and they were going to a steady school, and I was